Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Boop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a great day. I watched The Bachelorette last night. Listen, we're going to jump right into it. This may be a little bit of a longer video. This is most definitely going to be not for the faint of heart as far as language goes. So if you have small kids, maybe don't let them watch this. Yes, so I just wanted to give that right up front. There's gonna be language in this because this had me heated. So this past week on The Bachelorette, we had 3 guys remaining, and I was just wondering last week, when are they going to go somewhere tropical? And this was the week. They went to Fiji. So she has Xavier, Dalton, and Joey left. Start off the night, Charity's sitting down with Jesse. He was like, it's a long journey here. Not really. I don't know if I'm the only one who thought this, but I felt like this season's went quicker. Like I felt like it just went quicker. So Jesse sits down and asks, how's she doing and everything. And they also talk about Aaron and asks about, how do you feel after you had to let Aaron go? And she had said, she's still been thinking about him and that her decision has kind of been haunting her. She's wondering if she made the right choice. Did she make a mistake? And then she talked about a little bit about each of the guys that was there. About Xavier, she wants to make sure that he's ready for an engagement. About Dalton, she is asking if this is just too good to be true. There's no red flags at all. No questions about him. And about Joey, she said she's falling in love with him, but she wants to know if this is the real Joey that she's getting or just a version of Joey that he thinks she wants. Okay, now, typically I break this down in order of everything that happens. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna save the absolute worst one for last. So we're gonna go through with Joey and Dalton, but wait, before we get to any of that. You thought Aaron B was out of the picture. He's not. They showed him back at home, and he is saying that he can't live with this. He has to fly to Fiji, and he has to find out what's going on. Does she really feel this way? And he wants to see if he can get her back. So he hops on a plane. 3 days later, he's going to arrive. We'll talk about that. So for Joey, once again, let me remind you, she wants to know if she's getting the real genuine Joey or just somebody who he thinks she wants him to be. So for their date, she picked him up in this ATV. They went ATVing, and then, oh my gosh, it broke down. Like that wasn't planned by the producers. It broke down, so they went on a little walk. Listen, it was real nice until they got to the stream, and then they walked in their shoes, and their shoes got wet. Listen, I think that's gross when you get your shoes all wet. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. They sat down on this little rock. When they were walking there, I didn't notice that she had a blanket, but then suddenly she had a blanket. They sat down on this rock and they hung their feet in the water, in their shoes. Oh, I just didn't like it. It kind of grossed me out a little bit. So they were sitting there talking, and he basically was saying that he didn't tell this to her, but he said, or did he? He might have, but he said he has doubts. No, he did not. He said it just off camera. He said that he doesn't have doubts how he feels for her, but he doubts that he has doubts that maybe she's not as into him because of how she acted like the last time during their their home after the hometown date. And so they were talking about that, and Charity brings up the conversation that she had with his uncle during hometowns. And Joey had said that he was not acting himself, that he was not acting as he normally would, just because he's so nervous. He's so nervous and so worried about all of this. So that was the the information that Charity wanted to hear. During dinner, he did talk a little bit more about that. He had said that there are two Joeys. Like, there's the one that's confident, and then there's the one who's not so confident. And he mentioned the word doubt again. This one, though, is good. This one, when he mentions doubt, it's not bad. And when he says doubt, he means that he doubts himself, not that he doubts her, and that there are times when he just can get in a funk. And Charity comes out and says that she has the same feelings. So I thought it was really nice. And he said that he's in love with her. She said she's in love with him. He's so adorable. Listen, Joey is so adorable, and they were just so sweet together. He's still not Doubt, and I still want Doubt to win. But they did share the fantasy suite. And the next morning, it was so nice. It was so sweet. He's gonna get his heart broke, though. I don't think she's gonna pick him. Next up, we had Downton. Downton did a jet ski, and then they had a private island, and they had champs. They popped the champs on the sandbar. And so they were sitting there and they were talking. And Downton had said that he had never watched the show before. He had no idea of what happens at the end of this. He had no idea that there's supposed to be an engagement at the end of it. And he basically said, if there's an engagement, then I'm good with that. I'm up for that. So it was so nice. They went to dinner. Downton says that he's in love with her, but he's nervous that she's not. He didn't say this to her. And then he said, and he always talks about their love as like this fairy tale love story. And it's so sweet, but then I get sad every time he says that he doesn't feel like he deserves this fairy tale. Oh, that's so sad. Like, it always makes me sad. And he so does. I could see these two, I could absolutely sing together, because once again, I can see them doing fancy things, but more importantly, I can see them doing everyday things and just having fun with everyday things. They both say that they're in love with one another. They do the fantasy suites, and the next morning is just, so sweet. So I love that. So listen, now we're gonna get into the portion where I'm feisty, and I can very well curse. And that's because we're gonna be talking about Xavier. Okay, so going into this, she was wondering if he really is ready for an engagement. So they end up on a personal private island. They get these natives from Fiji come in, and they do a dance, and it's awesome. Seeing the culture, it's awesome. And then it gets a little weird, because they take Charity away, and they're gonna dress her, and then they take Xavier over. They put him in the grass skirt, and they oil him up, and then they bring Charity, and Charity looked beautiful sitting up on that throne they were carrying. She looked beautiful, and that look ate of the whole night. Boom, slayed. And the natives then went through and did like pre-wedding rituals. Seriously. The look that Xavier gave when they were like, when they mentioned a wedding ceremony was like, what? Wait, is this binding? What? He was like, I thought, oh, yeah, you should have seen that look, Charity. So they were talking and everything, and listen, Charity, it wasn't a poem, but Charity had said, because they were like, say something special to him, and she said something special, and then he comes up with that delicate flower poem where you're delicate flower and I don't want to pick you up and I don't want to break you. What is that? I thought that was weird. I thought that was telling. So this whole time he's saying off camera, there's something I need to tell her. There's something I need to tell her. And I was like, oh shit. What is this? What is this? Please don't tell me that the Knitting Prince is going to be a dud. Well, listen, they go out on the date. They're having dinner. And he says, once again, he's nervous because he has things to tell her. And then he comes out and says his heart is with her, but he has doubts and he's overanalyzing things. She's just worried that he's gonna hurt her. Now listen, remember, she just spent 6 years in a relationship with somebody who cheated on her. That is her biggest fear going into this. So he's coming out, he's saying I need to tell you who I am. I need to tell you about something that happened. I need to tell you who I am. And I was like, who the is this guy? So he comes out, he was unfaithful. He cheated. And listen, he didn't just cheat once, he cheated several times. And here's the worst thing. He cheated. The reason why he cheated was because his girlfriend, the woman he was with, that he was supposed to be committed to, she would not change into what he wanted her to be. So he could not control her. So he cheated. That's what it was. And Charity, listen, from the very beginning, weeks ago, Charity was like, something about him that reminds me of my ex. And I don't know what it is. These red flags were popping up in her head before. And then he said this where he tried to control her and she wouldn't let it happen. And then he cheated on her. And Charity was like, that's exactly what my ex did. Exactly. At that point, she should have been, let's get your ass up. Let's go. Let's move. You're going. Goodbye. Get the fuck out of here. That's what she should have done. She didn't. She was going to try and give him, I felt like she was going to try and give him a little bit of like a pass. And let's see if he can make it up. And then he's saying, she had asked him, can you promise not to ever cheat? And he's not giving like a definitive answer. He's saying it's maybe, but it's scary, and I did a lot of work looking at myself and doing self work and blah 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 and this and that. So then, listen, she says, "Can you be someone who shows up for me? Can you stay faithful to me?" And then he goes into that bullshit answer with all long-winded. Basically, it's that he has doubts. His heart has no doubts, but his mind has doubts. And we need to see where this goes tonight. And then he says, I need to see more tonight. What does that mean? Does that mean that he's saying that, listen, we got to get to the fancy suite. If we have sex, then I can maybe promise that I'm going to be faithful to you. What's that bullshit? No. My question in this whole thing, why did he just say it now? Why was he waiting until now? Was he waiting until now because he wanted to get a free trip to Fiji? What is that? Why did he have to wait till now? So as soon as he said that, she was like, no, I don't know what the F this is, but no, and then he tried And then he just sat there. Oh, well, maybe I should, what did he say? He said, I should have taken more time to answer that. The fuck you should have. You should have told her this long ago. You knew that this was a problem for her. Listen, this date was just as awkward as, remember Hannah Brown, when Hannah went on the date with Luke P and he made her promise not to sleep with other people? Fuck are you? We're not even going out yet. We're not even exclusive. No. So he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he just sat there. She was like, let's go. Let's get up. Let's go. And then walks out. And then at the end, tries to gaslight her by hugging her and saying, oh, I love you. Get the fuck out of here. No. Selfish. No. Get out of here. Me thinking weeks ago, oh, well, he's nice and attentive. He really will be patient with somebody because he knits. Fuck that. He was terrible. He was the worst. Okay, so she sends him home. But wait, like after Downton's date, what's this? I'm wondering, where is Aaron? Is Aaron stuck in air somewhere over Fiji? Aaron shows up. These producers knew exactly where Charity was in the resort, but they make him walk around, go up to that one lady that's working at the front desk and ask, hey, where's Charity? She's like, the fuck did I know? And she's like, what room number is she in? And he says, I don't know. Well, of course. I mean, confidential information. You can't just be giving room numbers out to people. How do you know this person didn't fly halfway across the world to come and stab you or murder you or kidnap you and sell you into like sex trafficking? You don't know. Well, seriously. No. So, but he finds her. He eventually finds, but I love that the producers made him go up and ask this rather than just being like, hey, she's at that pool. He shows up and her reaction was not what I was expecting. She was surprised, but she wasn't mad. And she actually said, I'm excited. But then he's like, hey, how you doing? I love your fit. As a Gen Xer, why? I love your fit. Ugh, Christ. So she's like, what are you doing here? Oh my God, you flew not even just like a couple hours. You flew around the world for me. Oh my God. And he's like, I didn't like how things were left. I still have feelings for you. I was wondering if maybe you would take me back. And then they cut it there and they don't say anything. She's back. She's taking him back. You cut him for a reason. You cut him because you felt like you weren't at the same place with him as you were with the others. Are you going to tell me you're at the same place as with him as you are with Downton and Joey, who you just said you love? No. Charity, come on, man. She's definitely taking him back because in the previews it looks like it. So that's it. Next week, it looks like we are going to be having Men Tell All, possibly. It looks like it might be good because it looks like Xavier and Charity are talking and then she asks something and he just gets up and walks away. I mean, unless it's editing, that's what it looks like. Nope. No, ma'am. Listen, if my mother was not in that other room, I would be cussing even more because that was bullshit. Okay, so tell me what you thought about the whole thing. And with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. And take care of one another. And please stay safe. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow with a recap of Claim to Fame. Bye, guys.